So today I have a watch that's for me personally just the kind of watch I like to wear, the kind of watch I wear on a daily basis. If you're into watches from brands like maybe Serica or Unimatic, this falls directly into that Thule category of watch. It's nearly perfection. The watch is the Regia from Peren Watches. There is, of course, some room for improvement like any watch, but it is excellent. Now, this was originally lent into the channel and was supposed to be returned to the company, returned to Perrin. I loved the watch. I've had it a couple of weeks now, and the other day I reached out and asked if I could actually purchase this watch from them, and they ended up gifting it to me. So that doesn't normally happen, but really appreciate that they did it. And it's kind of a spoiler alert on how I feel about the watch, but let's get to it and check it out. Okay, now, yeah, that rarely happens where I try to purchase a watch that's in for a video, only because I would end up broke very quickly if I did that often. But this had some neat things happening with it, and I just had to have it. So there's actually two versions of the watch, this and the Regia X, which has a dual purpose diver slash GMT bezel. For me, I preferred this sort of day night style dive bezel, but both versions look really good. And the way they've done the bezel itself, for me, is a highlight of the watch, and we'll check that out closer here soon. The watches are inspired by and there's almost a 0% chance I'm pronouncing this right, but they're inspired by the Sarmazagatsua Regia calendar. It's an ancient calendar used by the Dacians in Transylvania, which is also where the owner of the brand is originally from. Now, when I first got this in hand, the dial and the watch itself appeared to be fairly simple and straightforward, but the longer you look, the more details it reveals. Still a clean dial layout with the company name printed in white up near the 12 and the water resistance just above the 6 o'clock. The center circular part of the dial where the print work is slightly sunken. It's tough to see in most lighting, but the minute track looks like there's a marker only at every 5 minutes. There's actually engraved markers between those that are a nod to the Regia calendar. Subtle but a cool detail. The elephant in the room here is going to be the date at the 12. I'm trying to think if I'd ever gotten hands on with a watch with that date placement, and pretty sure I haven't. I think it works with the watch, although if you like to see the date switch over at midnight, it is obscured by the hands when that happens. It's also a little small, but still readable with the contrasting white numerals against the black date wheel. The markers are 3D luminous markers, which give some depth to the dial. Between those and the stark white handset, you won't have any trouble getting the time. The loom is good, but there's lots of divers out there that have stronger loom. I can't really complain. The loom gets a pass for sure, but brighter would have definitely been better. Now let's get to this bezel, which is one of my favorite parts of the watch. First of all, the insert, which is aluminum, looks awesome. The whole day-night GMT bezel look is just that, a look, but I really like it. They've decided to use three popular bezel marker shapes together on the bezel: the diamond, the circle, and the triangle. Different, but I love it. The bezel itself has a combination of the grooves for grip, then it steps up from there to where it meets the insert. It really gives the watch a unique look. The crown also has that same machine work with the grips and then the step ups. The bezel I thought might not be so easy to grip, but you can see here, no problem at all. It is a 120 click bezel. Good clicky action and feels good in hand to use too. The strap has a really modern look with those lines like that. It's an FKM rubber, so quality material that wears great straight out of the box. The strap is also quick release and the steel hardware is signed parent. The case is bead blasted with polished edges of the lugs, and the lines between the finishes is sharp. Most bead blasted watches tend to be fully matte, so I like the detail with the polish work there. The case back is borderline sterile, but with the shape of the calendar and the individual number of the watch out of 300. Size on the watch comes in at a case width of 39 millimeters on the dot. Lug to lug is only 45.3 millimeters. Lug opening is 20 millimeters, and the thickness is right at 13 millimeters. The crystal is a flat sapphire with an anti reflective coating, and the water resistance is 200 meters. The watches are hand assembled in house and come with a 2-year international warranty. And running the watch is the in house regulated Salida SW200 with a power reserve of approximately 38 hours. And here it is on wrist. And to me, this is how it should be done. It's its own design with a modern look, but it's not too out there when it comes to the overall look of the watch. It is a weighty watch considering the size, but feels great on wrist. Cost for these comes in at 963 Swiss francs, so right around 1,075 USD. But right now, as of the time of filming, you can get these for 750 Swiss francs, which is right around 840 US. Link to where you can find these will be below. Even if you're not buying, I'd check it out to get even more details on the design inspiration there. Thanks for taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.